The world's a better place for this man being in the studio. 21 disposals, 8 marks and 2 sausage rolls.
Well, I've heard a whisper that as the captain of East Perth, that you have been seen in negotiations at Bassendean with Andrew Pruitt. Apparently he flew from Basel with chopper, and you've been in discussions.
Pickers have sent me out there.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Where are we at?
Look, I'd like to say that I have the full support of the East Perth Football Club, and
Oh no,
they're wrapping their arms around me. No, we that's certainly not the case.
Okay.
And we're not out of Bassendean this week.
Home game for you guys. Just give you an easier, softer start to the season.
Are we right?
How'd you go on the weekend, mate?
Oh, it was a good game. We didn't play well for 4 quarters. We had a couple of lean patches there, which we played. I think we probably had 6 or 7 different guys in our grand final team, so it looked a lot different. And it's still taking
Good thing.
Yeah, still taking a bit of time to gel. So to win a game like that, when we had 2 on the bench for the third quarter, and then we were undermanned in the back end of the game. And we still got up. It was a good one to get 4 points.
Will his team win a game this year?
Oh, I think they will. They've got a very good midfield.
Oh, stink eye.
They've got a very good
Yeah.
Their midfield's very, very good. So their midfield is full of talent. They missed Schofield. They had 2 more. Jed Edwards was out. So once they come back, they'll be okay.
Just a diversion tactic to get it away from my team, Goss.
I was going to say, he lost by 8 goals at home to West Perth.
Yeah, no, we were horribly undermanned. 27 injuries we got. 13.
Might have to give Nick Rokar a call again.
No, he's gone. He's doing great stuff over there at Norwood. And good luck to Nick.
Angus Shoemaker in the States. He's going to be playing in the state team for South Australia.
What?
Yep.
Does that work?
Well, they've got a game.
He plays in the Sandford.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Not State of Origin.
Oh, it should be.
He probably should be, yeah. He won a Simpson 2 years ago against them. They know he's pretty good. So they've got they play Victoria? Yeah.
Which is a team laden with ex-AFL players.
The Vics?
The VFL?
Yeah.
Really strong. I'll get to it in a moment. Just the fact is that how do you feel playing a genuine game pre-season? Just give us how do you pull up and
it's good to be back. You play like pre-season. The older, I'm only 27, but the older you get, the longer these
You're 27.
Jeez, 27. You're a bit long in the tooth.
I am, but it just feels like
that came around quick.
You start, you start pre-season in late October, early November, but you start training you start training pretty quickly, and it all of a sudden just goes, all right, we've been training for now, 20 weeks, pre-season's over, and now we've got 6 months ahead of us. So it does become a long time, and it's the grind of pre-season gets tough, and then as soon as the game flips around, it's like, perfect, we've just started again. So it's good. You don't care about the training you've just done. You're ready to go. So it is refreshing to be playing for points, and the practice games are practice games, but it's good to get out.
All right, by popular demand, the VFL state team squad. Have a listen to some of these players. Sam Durden.
Yep.
AFL players.
Yes.
These are the ones that I reckon have played or been on the list at least. Ethan Stanley. He was at Fremantle, wasn't he?
Yes.
Ethan Stanley. So he's at Box Hill now. Riley Bonner. Mitch Hardy, Jack Bytel, Curtis Taylor, Jackson Haitley, Xavier O'Neill, ex-West Coast, Phoenix Spicer, ex-North Melbourne, Will Hamill, Tom Murphy, Nathan Kruger, James Cetus, Darcy McPherson, Will Elliott, Tom Highmore, Charlie Lazaro, Hugh Dixon is in there, Dom Brew, who everyone talks about, should be on an AFL list as well. There's a lot of AFL listed players.
A fairly solid squad they have there.
They certainly do. So it's a pretty strong competition.
Only Victoria, we love seeing you do well.
I would imagine.
Yeah, get out of here.
Something we touched on just after 7 o'clock in Tell Me Why. Tell me why the clubs, and I talk only of West Coast and Fremantle because it's before our very eyes.
Yep.
Why do they introduce the players on the big screen before a game?
That is such a good point. I don't know. Who your players are, surely.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And it's not like...
There's 23 of them too. It's not like the basketball where you can introduce 5.
And it's also not like they're introducing them, one by one as they run out. I think it's bizarre.
It's let's try and make as big a focus on who is not that popular with our fans.
Yeah, or also let's just kill, 3 minutes on the screen. Let's do something.
Give us a break.
Do they have? Is it sponsored?
I don't think so. I plead with the football clubs. I plead with both clubs And Lauren and Kelly Black, Lauren at West Coast.
That's probably why they're still doing it, out of spite to you.
Like, I just go, let me breathe at the footy. I know we're sitting in a box and we go to an ad break and all that sort of stuff. But when you go to the footy and your team runs out and they play and you cheer, and on the weekend, Fremantle fans were feral. You were down on the boundary like feral. Quarter time, half time, three-quarter time, they just in your grill the whole time. The noise around the ground, and then they're running against a letterbox, or or they're dancing for $50 worth of pies or something. You know what I mean? I'm just going, give me a spell. Let me talk to the bloke next to me.
Yeah, but you're old. A lot of younger guys, the younger crowd love.
Really?
Yeah, mate.
And you know what? Let me talk to the bloke next to me. You're not talking to anybody. What is it? What?
All I'm saying is, the old days at halftime. At halftime, you'd stand up, stretch your legs, open your thermos, share your sandwiches with the people next to you.
Oh, you'd open your
tea.
esky that you're allowed to bring in. You'd crack a can, have a dart, have a chat. You want to go back to those times?
Yes.
Yeah, you're a 4-day Sheffield Shield guy, and everyone else is watching
I'm
the Big
a waffle
Bash.
footy guy.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Grassroots.
Yeah, I think it is a bit much, and I'll tell you what, actually, it does piss me off a little bit. You know, the halftime run, or the bloke who runs against the bouncing Macca's ball.
Yeah,
that needs to be quick. Kathy Freeman at the AIS, that's what we need to be running against, not a bouncing ball that's going at 4 kilometres an hour.
I've been saying it for ages, and I watched it again on the weekend and just went,
you can't lose to it.
Come on. I mean, that's not real life. I mean, sometimes you lose in life.
Yeah.
And sometimes these people need to be embarrassed in front of 40,000 people.
Oh, I agree.
It needs to be quicker. It needs to be quicker.
Totally agree.
Builds resilience.
Totally agree. Stop shouting at me. That's all I care about. You saw Fremantle firsthand last week, and we're moving on. They're over there, heading across for gather round. It was a cracking game.
Yeah, very good game of football.
Cracking game.
Really
the real deal, Freo?
Not yet. They've still got to bounce. They've still got to win some good games. They'll win the next 2. I think they've got Richmond, and then they've got Melbourne. Richmond, then Melbourne, and then they've got Adelaide. So I think they're going to get a good run up into playing one of the best teams in the comp, and then you'll know. So it's a bit like the Geelong game. The Geelong game was, if they win this in Geelong, they can stamp themselves for this year. They fumbled that, and they're going to have that other opportunity in 3 weeks. They were good without being great. Scoring 97 points is good. Always have to be able to find avenue to goals. They were able to do that through weight of clearances, and their midfield went really well after quarter time. But Sam Darcy was so good, kept them kept the Dogs in the game. But yeah, they had some things that they did really, really well, and then they had some patches where they were average.
They looked really fit, because that was a brutal running game, and they had to chase the Doggies for a long time early. But in saying that they looked fit, they ran the game out bravely, and it was a gutsy win with the number of rotations. But with that style of play, they lost players.
Yeah.
They lost players to soft tissue.
Yep.
So while they might be aerobically fit, can they maintain that workload? You know what I'm saying?
It's hard because if they're going to have to win games like that, you're going to have to wear some of the brunt of that injury. And what I was most impressed about with Freo wasn't their ability to score, wasn't their ability to sort of switch it after quarter time. It was that hanging on in the last, because they've traditionally been really bad at the last quarters.
Yep.
And to be 2 down on the bench and work through it like that, and not, they even kicked one late, and they dug in. It was a real good game from their leaders. All their leaders played well.
I said on Monday, it's a sort of win that even though they're not playing the best footy that they want to be playing, right? Yep. And she just agreed then, so they're not there yet. That's the sort of springboard sort of win, though,
definitely.
isn't it? That's the one where you go, we lost all of those in the last 2 years.
Yep.
We battled an enemy that was so hard and fast and brutal, and we won that.
Yeah, you bounce off that and you go over to Adelaide, and Richmond aren't an easy beat, but they are an easy beat. You won't think, you've got to go over there and actually play
They'll win,
well.
but it won't be all their own way.
Yeah, so they've got to go over there and do that this week. Melbourne are struggling, so they'll do that the week after. And I think it's a really good platform for them to build off this game and go, right, we've got a next 3-week block that is going to culminate in a really tough game. Let's throw everything into it. And if they can win if they can go 3 from 3 from here, they're a contender again.
Andrew played his 150th, and I was walking into the ground, and I saw Charlie Constable, of course, walking around in a suit.
Yes.
And it was pretty warm, and he'd played the night before. Was he a bit overdressed for the occasion?
He was devastated. He was devastated. Andrew we had a number of tickets. He was in the President's Lounge, the President's Lunch or whatever it was. Ooh. And I picked Andrew's other mate up from the airport, who was also in the suit, and Charlie had no idea until that morning that he had to wear a suit. It was about 32 degrees.
It was warm.
And he rang Andrew and put him on speaker and said, Sneak, I'm a pie stand operator, mate. What am I doing in a suit? And he said, it's too late. It's too late. Go there, have a couple of beers before, and then you can go sit up in the stands. But, yeah, he was certainly overdressed.
He certainly was. Now, a question before we take a break and we dissect what's happened at West Coast this week and also your tips for the round, because people just hang on your tips.
I was actually 7 from 8, I think.
Yeah, I was 8 from 8.
Shouldn't have tipped North Melbourne.
No, and I shouldn't have tipped in with you.
That's all right.
Umpires with shirts out and half socks. It looks
Oh, yeah, it
ragged.
looks average.
Does that happen at your game too?
Yeah, and it just doesn't look great, does
Looks
it?
ragged. You just look like it's a pre-season scratch match.
The umpiring's been poor, and that's probably
Hang on.
It has been.
You're an East Perth player. You can't say that. You'll get fined $50.
Oh, boy.
No, we won't.
Fine, 50.
No, the umpiring across the board hasn't been great, and it just what standards are we accepting?
But why?
Tuck your shirt in.
Well, someone told me they changed their apparel provider and the shirts aren't long enough to tuck in. That's what I heard.
No, it means they've all blown out and the shirts don't
Well,
tuck
there's
in
that
anymore.
too.
I know this.
Hey, there's that too. We have a lot of text yesterday from saying the fitness levels of WAFL League umpires is not what it used to be.
There you go. I certainly.
Speaking of that, how's Angus going?
He's all right, mate. Yeah,
You're right, how's
he's
he?
certainly not fit, and his fitness levels aren't where they once were.
I didn't quite recognise him, to be brutally honest with you.
Nah, he's going well.
He was over?
Yeah, he's going. He came over and watched the game, so I think that might have been his first footy game that he's watched in a long time.
that's
so
cool.
I don't think he loved it, but it was good that they won.
Did you like the Shawnee Mack presentation of the?
I did, but I saw. So
Shawnee Mack
he was
there
in
in a black
he was in the
t-shirt.
black t-shirt, and I was looking at him, and I could see the collar of the red collar, and I was like, I reckon he's wearing his old Freo jumper here. But then it was the start of the speech, and I was like, how's he going to work this in? How's he going to take his shirt off?
He's a beauty.
And he got there. It was very funny.
He
It
is
was
a
good.
beauty,
And he's
Shawnee
good,
Mack.
Nick.
Well,
Too.
that's the thing that annoys you
He
the
does
most.
work on
Yeah.
it.
Was that his old playing jumper?
Yeah, it was his old playing jumper.
Oh, well, he's not taking retirement seriously at all. He
does
retired
work on it.
15, 16 years ago. How's he still fit into that?
He just works out. He's
Whose would you have
what
to
a
grab?
loser.
Whose would you have to grab to fit into?
Mick Nolan. Galloping Gasolomiter.
Samps.
Samps.
Samps has enjoyed retirement.
Yeah, Samps. Yeah, he's not getting on anyone's shoulders anytime soon. I'll tell you right now.
We're going to take some news and come back. Hamish Brayshaw with us.
He's Cirque du Soleil's. I might have to grab theirs.
We'll keep an eye on what's happened at West Coast and get the tips. This is Scotty Goss, Hamish Brayshaw in the studio. It's been a troubled old time in West Coast Eagles town. Oscar Allen's still in the news. Hey, this is what Tom Morris said last night on Channel 9. Have a listen to this development.
As it stands, Oscar Allen wants to play for the Brisbane Lions next year. There's 3 reasons why he wants to play for the Brisbane Lions next. Long-term contract is one, the security of that, 6+ years, set his family up for life. Another reason is the fact they're in the premiership window. He's keen to play for a club that can win a flag next year. Third reason is the prospect of the Brisbane Lions fixing his body. He's had issues with his knee, and they've done that before, haven't they, with Lincoln McCarthy, with Callum Archie, and of course with Joe Danaher.
How come a club can fix your knee and another club can't?
The only
It's not so much the surgery on the knee. It's the post-surgery and the S&C staff and how much work he does coming back. That's, I think, is the concern.
I think the benefit of the Brisbane Lions versus the West Coast Eagles would be that he wouldn't have to do as much. He wouldn't have to shoulder as much weight on his knee when he's playing. He can actually take a bit of time to rest, knowing that they'll still probably be playing well.
You know Oscar well?
Yeah, well enough.
Do you think he'd be hating what's going on at the moment? Because he gives the impression that he wants to be loved and he wants everyone to embrace him. Not searching for it, but he doesn't like the ruckus.
Yeah, no, he would not be enjoying this one bit, and he would be. I think it's his own fault if he went out to a public cafe and got caught having a
Pizza.
coffee with Sam.
Pizza at his house.
Yeah.
Oh, how'd that get caught? Who found that?
Well, that's the mail.
that's it.
Pizza at his house.
Yeah, he'd be hating it. He'd be just. He would be unhappy, and I think everyone would know his intentions. Obviously, it's pretty clear now, and he would have told the players at some point before that. And there wouldn't be many players in West Coast that aren't looking elsewhere. I wouldn't have thought at some point, even just
Really?
a conversation,
Just to look over the shoulder.
just to
sort of
look
thing?
over the shoulder. Anyone that's out of contract, just what's going on here?
Okay, so give me this.
Yep.
So the CEO of 30 Years leaves.
Yep.
Trevor Nisbet. The head of recruiting, Rowan O'Brien, after a long time goes, and a couple of other staff go.
Yep.
In fact, quite a few staff, staff inside West Coast walls go. Their coach goes. One of their 150 gamer, club champion, premiership player goes. I thought that was the clearing of the slate, but now why is there now a mass exodus 12 months on? What's going on inside that group? I thought that would be a refreshing change for all of them.
Well, just they can't. They haven't. The results haven't translated on field. It doesn't matter what's.
So that's their fault.
I know but that's why.
So why would they be looking elsewhere? I'd be worrying if you can't get a game and can't get a kick at West Coast. Why is he guaranteed to get a kick somewhere else?
You're not guaranteed to get a kick somewhere else, but you have a fresh perspective on football.
If someone comes after you and shows interest,
Yeah,
in you,
Like
you're probably
who?
going to.
You tell me who's
I'm just
gonna,
saying, but if someone comes after you and shows interest,
who's going to knock on the door for disgruntled players at West Coast, apart from Harley Reid, Oscar Allen, Jeremy McGovern, Elliot Yeo? Not many.
no, but
There's not many.
yeah, I know, but there are some.
Would you be chasing Tim Kelly right now?
No.
Liam Duggan right now?
No.
Tom Cole right now?
No.
Jamie Cripps will guarantee. If Jamie Cripps should get another deal right now.
Well, he's playing well.
He's the
enough
most
to do
reliable
so.
forward they've got. And he's 40.
I'd be looking at I think he's 42. Archer Reid is the one that's showing
Yes,
plenty.
Archer.
And there's a guy that's only going to grow into his body. Ruben Jimby, you'd go after.
Yeah,
in
you
a
would.
Flash.
You'd go after.
Brady Hoff is the sort of player that
You'd certainly go after Brady Hoff. You'd go after a lot, like any young guy, any young player that you know, the guys who are 21, sort of under. You can still look at their draft tape and say, okay, this is when they were playing well in a good team. Like
you go after Elijah Hewitt.
You can't go after
hope you
these.
get his body right.
These young kids haven't been able to show any real talent because they're either playing WAFL where they're losing by 100 points or they're playing in an AFL team that's just getting slaughtered every week. It's very hard to show your best football in that situation as a young player. The older players can sort of show a bit of leadership and grunt, which they haven't done, but the younger guys rely on good teams. Like Levi Ashcroft, for example, you put him in Westcoast's team, he's not playing as well as he is in Brisbane.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. It just doesn't work. Like, look at Finn O'Sullivan. He's a star. He's only having 15, 16 touches a game for North Melbourne because they're not playing very well. Whereas if you put him in one of the better teams, he's flying.
That's the case with so many players, though, isn't it? You might just get an average player who's just so much better.
And so that's why that's why a lot of these younger guys and the players at West Coast, I imagine, would be, you know, if the opportunity arose, would be, yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind having a look because they don't know anything else other than losing.
But that's rats deserting the ship. This is a club that probably they've all grown up predominantly, have loved and worshipped and had their heroes. They're probably playing alongside a couple of them.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, because they're not winning, is that the modern world? Because
well,
you're
I
not
think
winning?
it is. I think players are becoming more, and I don't mean it. It's probably not the right word, but they
Patrick
are
Cripps
becoming
is
more
loyal,
selfish.
and they're not winning.
Yeah, but it's not a matter of just not winning. It's okay. We haven't won for 5 years.
Where's the light?
We've been really bad for 5 years. And what am I staying? Where's the end goal?
Yeah,
What's going to happen? And what am I looking at here that's going to take me from the worst team in the comp to competitive again?
Sticking together,
Yeah.
building something new, loyalty, and they're getting paid good money
but
for
yeah,
being
yeah.
average in an average team.
Did you ask for loyalty? But the clubs don't show loyalty. They'll trade you in a heartbeat if it suited the
Well,
club.
they show loyalty in regards to the size
Well,
of the
West Coast
contract.
showed far too much loyalty, and that's why they're in the problem that they're in right now.
And this whole size of the contract thing, you have to spend the soft cap. You have to spend the salary cap. It's not like, oh, you guys are playing bad, you shouldn't be making the money. You have
They'll
to.
put it on you.
You have to spend it at some
I'm all
point.
for that. I've got no issues with what players earn, but I'm just thinking we're sort of saying,
No, I'm hearing what you're saying, and it's almost like disappointing but it's become so acceptable now to move clubs and to look for a better deal for yourself that players are now more willing to do so, and they will act on it.
So football now, and again, I am a dinosaur, 100%. You're right.
Yep.
I'm old, and I like the old days. Okay,
You've heard him now.
yeah, no, he's spot on. But my attitude to all of this is, everyone keeps telling me it's a business. What happened to playing for the club? What happened to the team? What happened to Worsfold and McKenna and Jakovic and Sumic and Brennan and Hart and Waterman and Lewis? And what happened to that group of who you just knew were embedded at West Coast and they played the arse off for West Coast? And now all of a sudden we talk about, oh, well, the grass is always greener. There's more money over there. I've got a 3-year deal. I don't know if I want to take the 3-year deal. I'd just be grateful for having a job. Well, I'm on a 1-year deal here. What are you on?
Yeah, well, I'm on the 6.
What are you on at East Perth?
I got 1 more year to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a year by year, and these guys are getting 7 years of guarantee, and they can't get a kick in Burleys. It's astonishing me what's changed in the world of why players play the game. It is a game that I watched growing up because that was my team and the blokes who wore the jumper for the right reasons. And all I hear, and it's not just West Coast, I hear players say it across the board. It is a business. And I reckon that's sad.
It is a business now, though.
But it's sad.
It is sad. But back in the day, those guys came from their accounting jobs, and
They had jobs.
They went and they played a game.
20 hours a week the players are working for?
No,
20
they're doing more than that.
20 hours.
Who said 20
That's
hours?
how much access they've got.
Well,
Who?
yeah.
The clubs.
To the players.
Yes.
Now.
That's the
That's
mail.
what,
Yeah.
that's the minimum that's mandated under the CBA, or the maximum that's mandated. Sorry,
It can't
but
be maximum.
It's that's
They're
all.
in there for 6 hours a day.
Yeah, they're in there
Every day bar
They're in there a
one.
lot more. They're in there. 20 hours is not factual.
We're doing 40 minimum. Meetings.
40.
Yeah, they're doing meetings.
You counting flight time?
Yep. Treatment.
Oh.
Massages, recovery, all sorts of stuff. They're in at work. They're doing more than
Getting a
20 hours.
massage is work.
It's
Well, it
recovery.
is if that's your job.
It is.
It is if your job's to be an athlete.
You're very lucky. Do they have private health insurance? They have to take that out
They have to have
themselves?
that.
Yeah, they do have to. They do have to
wow.
take that
Yeah,
out.
Do they
You
put
can't
petrol
buy
in
it
their
unless you
own
have it.
car and pay their own bills?
Yes.
Gee. Alrighty, let's get the tips. Adelaide Geelong starts tomorrow night. I'm sorry, I'm just old. I'm just a bit annoyed. I'm just a bit annoyed to the lack of loyalty
Sometimes-
for football clubs.
Sometimes we don't like change, but you've just got to roll with it.
I'm understanding
I agree
of
with you.
change.
Do you know what,
It's
though?
the world we're
It
in,
doesn't-
but-
You know what? And that's the crap thing. Just because, they say, oh, well, this is how we do things now. You guys used to do it that way in your day. We do it this way. Doesn't mean that your new way is better. The fact is people just refuse to look in the past and go, actually, that was a pretty good way of doing things. They refuse now. Say, no, you're so old. I said, well, maybe the way we were doing it was pretty good. The world just changes and you just
Go and bag groceries from 8 o'clock to midday, and then go train in the afternoon. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get a decent conversation out of people who bag groceries. Alrighty, Thursday night.
You don't talk to them either. Stop talking. Just stop mentioning conversations.
He's a click and collect guy.
Bring it to my boot.
That's one thing I'm not.
You will pop the boot.
One thing I can guarantee you, though, is that I would appreciate chatting to normal people. I think I wouldn't have to go through a media manager
Yeah.
to speak to the guy who's packing my groceries. Rightio. Adelaide Geelong Thursday. Hammer?
Adelaide will win this.
Oh, they're good, aren't they?
They're very good. Very good. Robbed by the umpires. Again.
They were.
I'm a bit emotional now.
Yeah, you are. It all
I
started.
need to go to Rottnest for 3 days.
Yeah, you should have a break.
Collingwood Sydney. This game's in Adelaide as well.
Well, I like Collingwood here a lot. Sydney are very good. They bounce back, but I like the Pies.
Thank you. North Melbourne and Gold Coast. This is in the Barossa.
Yeah, this is. And
I
I
know
think,
you said you would tip North
I
Melbourne
know I'm
every
not tipping.
game.
I said I would, but I'm not tipping them this week.
Oh,
The
putrid.
Gold Coast Suns are as good a team as there are in the comp, and they will wipe the floor with
Matt
North
Rouse
Melbourne.
bought a $2 million house in Kew. Did you see that?
Oh, I heard he bought one in Applecross, Sydney.
Him and Chad Warner, one's on one foot,
Yeah.
like Melrose Place.
Well, his family's from around that area in Melbourne, Kew.
Bought his mum and dad a house.
Yeah, what
That's
a
he's
nice
done.
fella.
That's what he's done. What a guy.
Carlton, West Coast, gee, Adelaide Oval will be pulsating.
How is this at Adelaide Oval?
I don't know.
This is the hardest. This is the hardest game of the round of tip.
They
I
could have
think.
put this down in Noarlunga, down on the hillside where the wind comes in at 80 k's an hour every day.
Or had a buy.
Yeah, giving them both a draw.
You can make a case, can't you?
You can make a case for both teams. Yeah. I'm going to tip West Coast. I think Carlton are so bad and so mentally shot that they will have worked themselves up as this is the must-win game, and they're going to lose it. I think West Coast will win. Wow, what a crazy thing to have just said.
Bulldogs, Lions.
Lions, Brisbane will win.
Doggies a bit.
How have they not lost a game? They've been average this year,
That's
and they're
scary, isn't it?
4-6.
That's scary.
Just getting it done.
Melbourne, Essendon.
The Dons, Melbourne are
The
just
game's in Adelaide as well.
Us.
Busy.
Melbourne lose that game. Yeah. Tim's on fire over there. He's still
he's not.
seething.
I'm actually quite emotional. Look, I'm actually shaking.
Shaking.
Richmond, it's sad.
Going to go to his local good grocery and get someone to bag his groceries.
World's change.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Richmond, Fremantle.
Fremantle will win that, I would have thought.
Skilda versus GWS.
The Greater Western City Giants are flying, but so are the Saints. I'm going to go GWS. They're too good.
Are we waiting for the Saints to fall off the perch?
I'm not. I think they're I think they're all right now. Yeah, but
Well
GWS
coached.
are better.
Very well
Very well
coached,
coached. Yeah.
Port versus Hawthorn to round it out Sunday night. What a cracker this will be. This will be on for young and old
Yeah.
between Jack Ginnivan and the Port Adelaide
Every
fans.
time he comes to the bench.
I hope Guinea kicks 10 and celebrates as a playing every time, and they win. And Hawks
He's
will
going
just
to, isn't he?
Hawks will smash them. And I wonder.
Aeroplane
I wonder if
celebrations.
Sam Mitchell has said to him, "Just don't do the plane. Anything but the
Early.
plane.
Not to the
Don't do it
last.
early.
Anything, don't, anything but the plane." He'll do it. You know he's going to do it.
I think what Sam Mitchell's doing so well is he's fighting every one of his own urges.
Yeah.
To tell the players not to do
yeah,
something.
Yeah. Just
Did he
let
not
them
do that? He's
yeah.
going,
let him do it. Let him do it. Let him do it. Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
Always a pleasure.
Hamish Brayshaw. We'll take a break and come back and wrap things up. Scotty and Goss.
Hang in there, mate.
Oh, no.
Hang in there, buddy. Now let's hug it out.